You know, when it came to my 5th step in Alcoholics Anonymous, my 12-step program, it was one of the hardest things to get my head around. I sat for years doing without doing my 4th and 5th. It was the hardest damn thing I ever did in 12-step programs with those 2 steps. Once I did the 4th step, and then I held on to my 4th step, how did I know that I was ready to do a 5th step? How did I know I was ready? Well, the first indicator for myself was that I knew I had to get honest with somebody. You know, I got tired of hiding from reality. I really did. You know, the booze took so much away from me, and I really didn't understand myself at all. I was prepared to get brutally honest with another individual and let this other individual know what's going on with me. I was prepared to do that. And that, my friends, being honest with a God of your understanding, another individual, is very, very powerful. Another one is, I realized that doing a 4th step and a 5th step, I didn't have to be perfect. It did not have to be perfect. At that time, I could barely read and write. That was 35 years ago. I had difficulties in all those areas, but I did the best I could. And I knew one thing, if I didn't get it right, I knew I could always come back and do it again. But I knew one thing, that when I did this step, the 5th step, I told God and another individual my stuff, I knew there would be emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom to follow. I knew it because other people shared their experience, strength, and hope with it after doing a 4th and 5th. And you've heard that saying, we're going to know a new freedom. Well, that's where it comes from. We're going to know a new freedom. And part of that freedom comes from doing a 4th and 5th step. Another one for me was stopping the blame game. Doing a 5th step really puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. Because what you're talking about and what I'm talking about in my 5th step is my life. Not my mom's life or my dad's life or the teacher's life or my ex-wife's life or the cop's life. Things that I did and why I did them. I'm starting to take responsibility for my life by telling another individual. Having a 4th step written down is great progress, but actually telling somebody what's going on is even better progress. You're tired of the blame game. You're tired of that, and you're prepared to take responsibility for your life. And I'm going to tell you something. Once you start taking responsibility for your life will start changing 100% overnight, believe it or not. You know why I know? Because it did for me. You really need to listen to this one. And I think it's really important for you to hear it and for me to tell you. And what it is it's probably the first time in a long time you are ready to become teachable in your life. Most alcoholics are defiant SOBs. We don't listen. We do everything our own way. But I think by doing a 4th and a 5th, for once in your life, but I know in my life, I started the road to becoming teachable. Having a truly open mind, understanding that if I work the rest of the steps in the 12-step program, my life will change. I had to start listening to people, reach out for help, get active, do all those things, have an open mind, but it took time to do that. And when it came to 5th step, I felt really grounded in my program after I accomplished the 5th step. I really did. It was incredible what happened to me. So another one is, for the first time in your life, I know in my life, I understood at the end of it that, hey, Terry G, you're actually becoming teachable. One of the greatest things in the 12-step program that I've learned over time is blind faith. I trusted in the process and I didn't even understand it. And I think that's what a 4th and 5th does with a lot of people. It brings them to a point in the program that they start really trusting the process of the 12 steps. And it's kind of like a blind faith. And they're more willing to put themselves in the 12 steps, work the 12 steps, and do the best they can, even if they don't know what the end result is. Because if you're anything like me, anything is better than the way I'm living now when I did the 4th and 5th. Anything was better. So I didn't understand it, but I trusted it, if that makes any sense. And you know, no one is really ready to do a 5th step. You never really become ready. You really don't. There's no really right time for it. You don't have to have the perfect 4th step or the longest 4th step. You don't have to have the perfect environment to do it. You just need to do it. There's no right time. In our minds, we think we have to set it all up properly and get it going. No, you don't have to do that. I carried my 4th step in my pocket. I saw my sponsor at a meeting. I just walked over and I told him that night, and he said, yep, we'll do it right now. And we'll go upstairs in this little quiet room, and that's where we did the 4th step. It was, I mean, not the 4th step, the 5th step. I had a great sponsor. I wish everybody had a sponsor like me. My sponsor I trusted totally. I really did at the time. He heard all what happened to me. What I did to other people and what other people did to me and how I reacted and what the end result of it was, okay? Like, I was totally honest with this guy. And I hope you find a sponsor like that, because we all need somebody that we can talk to frankly and just get it off our chest. So if you're figuring out that you need the perfect setup with the perfect scenario to do your 5th step, you will never do it. Get out there and do it. It's not about perfection. It's about freedom. Okay? It's not about perfection. It's about freeing yourself up to let the Spirit of God inside you. Let that spirit of the HP inside you. Before that can really happen, we need to get rid of that garbage, okay? So I hope this video helped you. If it didn't help you, leave a comment below. If it did help you, leave a comment below. My name is Terry G. This is an alcohol-free life channel where we learn to live sober one day at a time. You can take a second, please subscribe. Take another second and hit that like button. God bless. I'll see you all next week. Ciao for now.